let's just jump right in. We are drowning in information, right? I mean, any fact you could possibly want is literally at your fingertips. But think about it. If knowing stuff is so easy, why doesn't it automatically make us better at, well, everything? Today we're going to talk about the skills that really move the needle in this crazy, complex world. The ones that actually turn what you know into what you can do.
You've totally been here. I know you have. You've read like 5 books on how to be more productive, but your to-do list is still a complete disaster. Or you know exactly what a healthy diet looks like, but man, that pizza is calling your name. This gap, this disconnect between knowing the right thing and actually doing the right thing is something we all face. So what is going on here?
Well, it turns out there's a name for this. It's called the knowledge-behavior gap. And it's that super frustrating space where all our good information about our finances, our health, our work, just fizzles out before it turns into action. It's the reason why just throwing more information at a problem almost never fixes it.
So if more facts aren't the answer, then what is? Well, the key is to build a bridge. A bridge that connects the island of what we know to the mainland of what we do. And the building material for that bridge? It's all about one thing: thinking.
This simple formula just nails it. Knowledge is the starting point. It's the raw material. But it's useless on its own. The thinking skills, that's the engine. That's what takes all that raw data and actually forges it into something useful, into real, effective action out in the world.
All right, so what do we even mean by thinking skills? Well, the World Economic Forum points to a few big ones. We're talking about stuff like analytical thinking to actually pick a problem apart, critical thinking to question the status quo, and creativity to come up with solutions nobody's thought of before. See, these aren't just fluffy buzzwords for your resume. They are the mental muscles you need to build to close that gap for good. But here's the thing. Those thinking skills are just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. To really see the whole picture of what it takes to thrive, we need a better model, a kind of blueprint that puts all these different skills together.
And this framework from UNESCO is just brilliant. It gives us 4 pillars. The first, learning to know, that's all those cognitive skills we just talked about. But then you've got learning to be, which is all about self-awareness, knowing yourself. Learning to live together is about social skills, empathy, communication. And finally, learning to do, which is where the rubber meets the road and you actually apply it all.
And here's the most important part. None of these pillars work alone. It's like a table with 4 legs. You need all of them for it to be stable. You need the smarts to analyze a problem, sure, but you also need the self-awareness to handle the stress, the social skills to get help from others, and the practical ability to see it through to the end. It's the whole package.
Okay, so we've covered the what. We know the skills, but let's geek out for a minute and look at the how. How does our brain actually pull this off? Let's pop the hood and look at the science of how we go from just running on autopilot to taking charge. Just think about your morning. You get up, you brush your teeth, you don't really have to think about it, right? It's pure muscle memory. Now compare that to walking into a meeting where you have to solve a brand new, totally unexpected problem. That takes a completely different kind of brain power. So how does our brain switch between those 2 modes?
It turns out our brain basically has these 2 operating modes. There's autopilot, the sciencey name is contention scheduling, and that's for all the routine stuff we do without thinking. It's fast, it's automatic. But then when things get tricky, we have to switch over to manual control, and that's powered by a different system entirely.
It's called the Supervisory Attentional System, or the SAS. And honestly, the best way to think about it is as the CEO of your brain. It's the part that steps in when autopilot just won't cut it. Your SAS is what lets you hit pause, ignore your first impulse, analyze the new situation, and consciously, deliberately, choose a new plan. This is the system that lights up when you're using all those critical thinking skills. And this isn't just some nice idea, by the way. This is real brain science. Researchers believe the SAS is located right in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain right behind your forehead. And that makes perfect sense, because that's our hub for all the high-level stuff: planning, decision-making, and self-control. It's basically the most human part of our brain.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. We've looked at the gap between knowing and doing, we've explored the skills we need to build that bridge, and we've even peeked into the brain's control room. So the big question is, how do we actually put all this to work and really lean into our unique human advantage?
So here's your game plan in 3 steps. First, just admit it. Knowledge isn't enough. It's the start, not the finish line. Second, work on all 4 pillars. Don't just be the person who knows the most. Work on being self-aware, a great collaborator, and someone who can get things done. And third, practice waking up your brain's CEO. Put yourself in new situations. tackle problems you haven't seen before, and force yourself off autopilot.
This quote from a Harvard article just says it all. In a world that's getting more and more automated, our real value isn't going to come from trying to be better, faster machines. It's going to come from doubling down on the things that only humans can do, thinking with creativity, with empathy, and with critical insight.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. As AI gets smarter and takes over more and more of the routine information-based tasks, the thing that will set you apart, the thing that will make you successful, is your human intelligence. So the question is, how are you going to invest in yours?